It's hilarious how everything comes back to the Anunnaki, but everybody pointed out that they were not aliens, they were actually fallen angels. Those are the Watchers. And so today we're going to be talking about the forbidden knowledge that they came down and actually taught the Sumerians, which included some artifacts and some cylinders used in Project Looking Glass. It could view the past, present, and future and understand how the variables could change that future. This is operating around 1960s and 1990s. This is something that I think was used in the predictive programming that a lot of people point to in the occult. And so some of the things, so Devs 2020, if you've ever seen that Hulu show, it basically is about a quantum computer that could predict the future, and anybody who's in that room could actually alter the future based off of their thoughts. That sounds like Project Looking Glass. The Lone Gunman was an insane one. 6 months before 9/11, a U.S. government conspiracy to take a commercial airliner to the World Trade Center so that they could get more military funding. White Noise was an insane one at the time. East Palestine, 2023, I believe, early 2023, they had that crazy ecological disaster where the train derailment exploded. This was actually portrayed in White Noise. Extras from East Palestine, Ohio, were used as the individuals in this movie where they portrayed a train derailment of chemical explosions. Utopia, which is one that I actually haven't seen, but it was actually a British series from 2013. It was about a... And then obviously we have The Simpsons, duh. So the occult, this is why I think it's important, because the occult, they need to tell us ahead of time what they're doing. That's the predictive programming. They want to prepare us. They want the consent, more or less. And then mostly it's just to mock us. The timelines, they say the timelines converge around December 21st, 2012. But the Mandela effect is when we all jump to that same timeline, people just remember different things. So I'm like, what happened on December 21st, 2012? So CERN is one thing that a lot of people point to because we made the God particle, which is the Higgs field, and that was on July 4th, 2012. So it's not necessarily lining up, but if you've ever seen that DMT video where the guy's like giving people DMT and he's looking at different things and they see all the same code on like different objects, then we could consider maybe we are in a matrix, right? So if this is all a simulation and we found the Higgs field, which is all the matter, right? Like anything that is anything has a Higgs field around it. All particles, all the electrons circling that nucleus, or the neutron and protons, have this Higgs field, which contains all matter. So if that is true and we are in a matrix, then rendering engine would be kind of the similar thing, right? So what if we found that the system's like, oh shit, weird variable, it patches it, we all go to the same timeline. By the way, a strange thing, if you consider that, anybody use Higgs field, which is an AI video place? Like, it's literally rendering the Matrix. A lot of people point to the Mayan calendar where it ends or it transitions to a new period at December 21st, 2012. What's interesting is it's the winter solstice then as well, and that sun is halfway through an alignment with the Milky Way. So it's a 400-year alignment. We were halfway point. So think about like a roller coaster where we're kind of going up and up and up, and then at that halfway point we go down. And it happens every 25,000 years, essentially, which is our precession or our wobble. And so that's just a crazy coincidence that aligns with the Mayan calendar, who obviously knew a lot about astrology. A lot of people consider that they found ancient Anunnaki temples, right? So again, all the way back to the Anunnaki. But the the really interesting one, I don't think a lot of people know about this, but there was a material that was discovered the day before, so December 20th, 2012, called Herbert Smithite, weird name, but it's a new state of matter where essentially it's a quantum spin liquid magnetism. It was found within a crystal. Now what that actually means is even at absolute zero, where all particles should theoretically stop all movement, this quantum state is constantly changing. Think of quantum entanglement, is that it's just two particles, they can kind of exist in the same spot at the same time in two different areas. But this apparently can do it at billions of particles at a time. So this is a quote, no individual particles anymore, but one huge ensemble acting collectively. So you think back to like World War II, I'm on my knees, German Bell, which is, it's like the precursor to the UFO, and they had a bunch of like blueprints trying to ideate on how to do this, which was spinning Mercury. And that was to alter space-time, not necessarily move really fast, but literally move everything around you so that you could travel at unreal distances without the G-force inside. Magnetic fields in constant rotation is the entire theory of the Mercury, right? And if you go back to this Herbert Smithite, the constant spinning of the liquid magnetism, the constant changing and rotation of that field, and if you have quantum entanglement with billions of particles all acting at once, you necessarily could have quantum entanglement with the entire universe, which puts out wormholes, restructure space-time itself instead of moving through it. I threw out a lot there, but in December of 2012, what happens? Is it the fact that we finally figured out how to travel through wormholes and we can alter space-time itself, which really just makes space-time irrelevant because it all happens all at once? Like, or is it essentially the Matrix and we kind of fucked up the Matrix by viewing the operating system of what it actually goes off of? Like, let me know. And where should I go next? This is fun.